Bang. All right. So before we get into the information that I wanted to share with you guys tonight, I just wanted to share a little bit about myself, let you guys know a little bit about who I am. So like Brooklyn said, my name is Paul Scott. I'm 24 years old. I was born and raised out here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My entire life, my parents had told me the plan to life was go into high school, get good grades so you can go to college, study hard, get good grades, get a great degree. And from there, that degree is going to get you an amazing job that'll take care of you for the rest of your life. So it was never really a question for me on whether or not I was going to college. The question for me was, what am I going to study when I get there? And it didn't take me very long to figure it out. Looking back at my experience in elementary and middle school, there was a program called DARE, and DARE is when a police officer comes into schools and he educates children on the dangers of drugs and how it can have bad effects on your life. And the DARE program isn't what really changed my life. It was the officer who came into our school every single day, because he wasn't just going through the motions. He didn't just kind of do his job and that's it. He really went above and beyond. He made sure that every single one of us knew if we ever needed anything, we're having troubles at home and just needed somebody to talk to, or we needed a mentor, or we needed some advice, anything we ever needed, Officer Matheny would do his very, very best to make sure that we had everything that we needed. And not only did he change my life and the lives of my classmates, but he was also very active in the community. I mean, he was always doing community service. He was going to a bunch of different churches and making sure that people in the community knew his face. He was always volunteering for different charities. I mean, he really, like I said, he loved our community and went above and beyond. And I could see him changing lives every single day. And he became the face of the police department to our entire community. I mean, I would be shocked if you found a single person that lived in our area that didn't know Officer Matheny. And that is what inspired me. That is why I wanted to get involved in law enforcement. I saw it as a vehicle to be able to help people and change lives. One of my favorite speakers, his name is Les Brown, and he says, service to others is the price that we pay for the time that we take up on this earth. And I absolutely fell in love with that quote. I wanted to be able to serve others. I wanted to be able to help people. Another quote from Les, he says, the world should be different because you came this way. And I saw law enforcement as that vehicle for me to be able to change lives and change the world. So I studied criminal justice. I got my degree and I was following the plan. But after I graduated, I found out that degree does not equal job. All right. I had applied to several different police departments and every single one of them had the same exact story. Thank you so much for your application. So here you go. You have a written test, a physical test. There's a polygraph, a 300-page background packet we need you to fill out. There's a background investigation. You got to meet with a psychiatrist, a psychologist. The list goes on and on and on and on. The process takes over a year, and every single department said, thank you so much. You might hear from us in a year. If you don't, feel free to reapply. I mean, I was absolutely mind blown. And a little bit distraught. I knew I had student loans coming up. I had bills to pay. I had a lot of stuff going on. So I needed to find a job. I needed to find something to be able to sustain myself until I got that police officer job. So I found a job at a factory. I was actually working at a potato chip factory that was an hour away from my house. So I had to wake up every single morning at 4 a.m. I would get ready for work, leave my house by 5:30. I'd have an hour drive there, get there by like 6:30, because even though we didn't start until 7, if you weren't there by 6:45, you got written up. So I got there by 6:30 every single day. And then I worked from 6:30 till 7:20. And then I had another hour drive back home, getting home around 8:20, 8:30. So I was basically working like 15-hour days, 4 to maybe 5 days a week. I was absolutely miserable. I hated my life. And I knew that there was something better out there. I knew that I could be doing so much more. And so I started searching. And then I read this book that absolutely changed my life. All right, the book was written by this man that you see here on the screen, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, and it was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in this book, he talks about the cash flow quadrant. I mean, the cash flow quadrant is such a powerful thing, because if you make money in the world, you fit into one of these 4 categories, one of these 4 quadrants. And obviously, there's a very big difference between the left side and the right side of the quadrant. Okay, on the left side, we have employees. We all know what employees are. All right, working in this factory, I was an employee. I was being told when to come in, when I can go home, how much money I was going to make, and I had absolutely no control over when I was going to get a raise. So as an employee, you're spending your time for money. And not only are you spending your time for money, but you have no control over how much money you're going to make. And then the next quadrant is self-employed. Self-employed people, they have a little bit more control. They actually have a little bit more control over their money and their time, right? These are your lawyers, your doctors, your barbers, hairstylists. All right, there's a bunch of different categories where self-employed people live. But even as a self-employed person, you can create your hours. You know, if the lawyer decides, I don't really feel like going in, I don't have any cases, so it's all good, I'm going to shut down for the day, that's fine. But if the doctor decides that he doesn't want to go to work, if he doesn't show up for the surgery, he doesn't get paid. Right? So even as a self-employed person, you're still spending your time for money, and there's still a cap on your income, because guess what? I could be the best barber in the city of Philadelphia, but even if I charge $1,000 per haircut, I can't cut 1,000 people's heads. There's just not enough time in the day, right? So there's still a cap on my income in the employee and self-employed section. So that is the big difference between the right side and the left side of the quadrant. On the right side, we have business owners. See, business owners are, say, they leverage systems and other people's time in order to make them money. So let's say I own a McDonald's, right? I own a McDonald's. I hire managers. I got my crew members. I got my, construction guys that do maintenance on the building. So I never have to step foot in this McDonald's, but yet I'm still getting paid every single week, every single month from the profits from the store. So that is what business owners do. They make people work for them. All right, and then you have the final quadrant, and this is what the book really put a lot of emphasis on, because this is the best possible quadrant to be in. You have the investor quadrant, and as an investor, you make your money work for you and bring you back more money. All right, the money is the best employee that you could ever hire. Why? Because money doesn't get sick and call out of work last minute. Money doesn't have to take off because the kids are sick or somebody's graduating, right? Money doesn't get stuck in traffic and show up late to work or give you attitude when it comes to work. All right, money can work for you 24 hours a day because it doesn't need sleep, and it doesn't, like I said, give attitude and talk back and all that good stuff, right? So I needed to find a way to get into this investor quadrant, and I started researching and trying to find different ways. I mean, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard the word investor were stocks and real estate. All right, and I looked at real estate and I said, okay, that sounds great, but I don't have $200,000 to be able to invest. And the stock market is nice, but I need hundreds and hundreds of shares in order to make anything significant, right? So I can't, I don't have that type of money either. So what else is there out there? And then I found the world of Forex. All right, what is Forex? Well, this is a vehicle that has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's been dominated by the banks and the top 1% of the world. Like Brooklyn said at the beginning of the call, wealthy people usually have access to different vehicles and different information to be able to create wealth in ways that you and I are not privy to, right? Ways that you and I have never been introduced to. And until about 20 years ago, banks and wealthy individuals are really the only ones that could take part in Forex, because you needed at least $100,000 minimum investment to be able to get involved. But because of technology and the world today, average people like you and I are now able to start getting involved in Forex. So what is Forex? It's a $5.3 trillion a day industry. How is there so much money being moved around, and where's the money coming from, and how do the banks invest in this thing and profit? Well, for example, say you, me, and Brooklyn, we all went on vacation. All right, we decided we were going to go to Mexico for a week. Now, obviously, we know in Mexico, they don't use the US dollar. They use the peso, right? So you, me, and Brooklyn all go to Mexico for a week. When we get there, we take $1,000 a piece. We turn it into however many pesos. Now, what you guys don't know is I have a good friend of mine that lives in Mexico. He runs a hotel. So he allows you, me, and Brooklyn to stay in this hotel for the entire week, free of charge. So now we're getting continental breakfast, we're getting lunch, we're getting all you can eat buffets for dinner. They got a pool, they got basketball courts, all types of stuff. Staying in this amazing hotel, luxury resort, and we don't have to spend a dime. All right, everything is completely covered. So we're living it up like kings and queens out here in Mexico for an entire week. Now, you know that the exchange rate for currency is always moving, right? It's going up and down and fluctuating based on news and just kind of what's happening with the country's economy and what's going on in the world, right? So when we come back from Mexico a week later and we land here in Philadelphia and I want to go out and buy you guys some food, well, when I go to the cash register and pull pesos out of my pocket, they're going to look at me like I got 5 heads, right? Obviously, we need to change those pesos back into US dollars. And, you know, a week later from when we had first exchanged them, it's not going to be the same price, right? I'm not going to get $1,000 back. I can get $800 or I can get $1,200. And if I get $1,200 back, I just profited $200 for going to Mexico and vacationing for a week. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, technology has kind of changed everything, and I don't have to go to Mexico in order to be able to trade the US dollar for the peso. I can do that from my cell phone or from my computer. And that is what the skill of Forex is, being able to read charts and kind of predict what's going to happen and profit as the market moves up and down. So that brings me into what is SilverStar Live. All right, SilverStar Live, we have a hands-free automated trading service. All right, now, am I telling you guys, I mean, I know you saw on the last slide, right, $5.3 trillion industry. Am I telling you you're going to make $5.3 trillion? Absolutely not. Come on, guys, let's be realistic. This is not a get rich quick or anything like that. You are not going to make $5.3 trillion. So let's just get that straight right now. But what we do with our hands-free automated service is allow you to get your piece of the pie. All right, we do not take your money. All right, we're not an Edward Jones, Charles Schwab. We're not like Robin Hood or Acorn or anything like that. We're not taking your money. Okay, what we allow you to do is to go find your own broker of your choice. You give them your money, and then you purchase our service, and our service will work with your broker and place the trades and allow you to make money in the Forex market without having to and be able to keep all of your profits. So it is a completely hands-free service. All right, an important thing is that we were founded in 2016. All right, so we've been spending the last 2-3 years really just working out the kinks, working out the bugs, right, perfecting the software, getting it more accurate, and really getting us to the point that we're at today, where right now we are a well-oiled machine moving forward. But the most important thing about us being founded in 2016, you know, when I first got into the world of entrepreneurship, I had a mentor, and my mentor taught me, he said, Paul, the way that you make a lot of money in entrepreneurship is getting in front of a trend before it becomes popular. Okay, getting in front of a trend before everybody knows about it. And that is the opportunity that you guys have here today. SilverStar Live, I mean, I'm sure none of you have heard of this before you got on the call here today. And we've only been around for a couple years, but we've been around long enough that, like I said, we've been working out the kinks and perfecting our strategy and perfecting what we have here. But we're just new enough that nobody really knows about us. So you're at that point where it's like Mark Zuckerberg bringing you into his college dorm room and saying, hey guys, I got this crazy idea called Facebook. Okay, that is the table that you're sitting at right here, right now, today. All right, that is the opportunity that's in front of you. And even as we speak, all right, we are operating worldwide. We have thousands and thousands of customers. I know me, myself, I've got customers and affiliates in over 7 different countries already. All right, so we are an entire, like I said, we are worldwide. And we're also privately owned and 100% debt free. So we don't have shareholders kind of pulling the strings and, you know, only care about the bottom line. All right, we are making decisions that are best for our customers and moving our company forward. And we are 100% in charge, and we get to choose what we're going to do as a company. So that brings me into, so who's making these decisions? You know, who is behind the scenes pulling the strings? So we have Mr. Hassan Mahmoud. He's the executive vice president of our company. He is the face from corporate. All right, he's the one with boots on the ground, traveling the world, introducing people to our software and our services, and introducing the world to what we have going on here. Okay, and then we got Miss Candace Ross. She is the president. Okay, she is the one that's making the tough decisions to help our company grow. Okay, and then we got the man, the myth, the legend, the chief operating officer, Mr. Quicksilver himself. All right, he is the one, he's the brains behind the software, and it's actually utilizing his trading strategy that they put into this software. He's actually a 22-year ex-hedge fund trader. And before I get into his trading background and a little bit about his strategy, let me explain to you guys a little bit about Mr. Quicksilver. Okay, this is the smartest man I've ever met in my life. All right, but smart is a word that gets tossed around a lot. So let me explain to you guys. This man is the documented 92nd smartest individual on the entire planet. Okay, the entire planet. There are only 91 people that are smarter than this guy. Or he has a documented 182 IQ score. And if you're anything like me and have no idea what that means, all right, I was like 182. That sounds pretty high, but I don't even know how high this scale goes. Let me just put it into perspective for you guys. Einstein had 160 IQ. All right, Quicksilver has 182. So that should tell you guys something. This is a very smart individual, and he'll be successful at whatever he puts his mind to. And he put his mind into Forex. He created a trading strategy that he's been using for the last 22 years, working on it, perfecting it, and he's been able to triple his trading account for every single day for the last 6 years. So it's a strategy that's been proven and been working for a very, very long time. And that's the technology that this software has been created with. So a little bit about his background. He was a hedge fund trader. And if you don't know how hedge funds work, basically wealthy individuals give hedge funds hundreds of thousands and sometimes even millions of dollars and say, here, take this, trade it for me, and bring me back profits. And he was the individual that they handed that money to. He actually handled the New York prison pension fund. Okay, so they handed him hundreds of millions of dollars of these New York prison retirees and said, here, turn this money into more money. Now, how a hedge fund works, they trade this money, they multiply it, they give the client back 20%, and the rest of the money goes to the hedge fund and the trader. Now, after doing this for years and years and years, Mr. Quicksilver got tired of this. He said, you know what? These wealthy people and corporations are not the ones that need this money, all right? They're obviously rich enough. I can be utilizing my skills and being able to help people who really need it. And that's why he wanted to create this software, wanted to create this company, because he wanted to find a way to use his huge brain and be able to give back and really make a difference. And this brings us into our AI software. So like I said, state-of-the-art technology, being able to utilize Mr. Quicksilver's trading strategy. And like I mentioned earlier, you have 100% of your control. You're not giving us your money, okay? You are working it out with your broker. Our company has absolutely no idea how much money is in your account, and we have absolutely no control over it, okay? Your profits are 100% your profits. All right, so we've got two main softwares, Benjamin and Hamilton. And what I want to do right here, right now, is I want to pull up some live accounts, because one saying for me, you know, I say documentation beats conversation every single time. It's nice for me to tell you how amazing this software is and, you know, tell you how great it is and how many thousands and thousands of customers are using it and seeing some profits. But until you guys actually see some live accounts, until I can actually prove to you guys that this thing is real, you know, it's just all words at that point. So what I want to do is pull up some live accounts for you here. So I have one right here. As you can see, it says running. Okay, you see these charts moving. All right. Actually, the charts are not moving. Oh, there they go. All right. Just a little bit slow internet connection. You see these charts moving. All right. This is 100% live. Okay. So what we're going to do is scroll to the top here, and let me just work through it and explain to you guys how what you're looking at. So you see here on October 25th is when this account was started. Okay. She funded her account. This is one of our customers. Her name's Abby, but she funded her account with about $1,400. Okay. $1,400. Her first trade was taken on November the 7th. She made $24.50 here on this first trade. Then she made she made $25 on the second trade, then 27, 24, 16, 19. All right, and then we have a loss. So let me explain to you guys something. In Forex, the market can only really do two things. It either goes up or it goes down. All right. You can get lucky. You can get on a hot streak. All right. People make money in Vegas all the time. All right. What really sets apart professionals from amateurs in this Forex industry, what really sets apart the profitable traders from the unprofitable, is how you handle the losses. Okay. Because there aren't many guarantees in life, but it is guaranteed that you will eventually take a loss in Forex. So the professionals are able to handle those losses and not wipe out their accounts or wipe out all of their profits. So let's see how the software handled this loss. So you see here, she invested in the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen pair. All right. She entered the trade and lost $39.08. why we call it artificial intelligence is because this software is always watching the trades. It's smart enough to realize that hey, we're losing too much money. The market isn't doing what we thought it was going to do. And what it did right here was enter a second position. It entered a second New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen pair trade. And even though we lost $39, we made $43. So we actually broke even. Actually, we made a couple dollars on that trade. And that's what it does every single time. So either enter a trade and make money, or you lose the trade and break even. All right, so the software is always protecting your money. And that's why this thing is so incredible, and what really sets it apart from any other software or bot or EA or anything else out there. All right, so let's continue to go through this history here. We got a bunch more wins. Here's another loss, the US dollar Japanese yen pair. You see we lost $40 here, then we made 17 and we made 35. And these are some trades that it got in between. And again, then it realized, hey, the market's not doing what we want. So it entered another US dollar Japanese yen pair. So we lost 40 and made 44. So again, another example of hedging. So let's get to the good stuff. Here are the results. Okay, from this account that started early November. All right, so we got December. So it's only been about 2 months here. In 2 months, she turned her $1,400 account. She made $3,518. Wow. Give me a bank account that will give you a return of $3,518 in just 2 months. All right, and then that was the gross profits. What she netted over here was $2,718. So this is how much money she actually made after, the broker fees and all that good stuff. Obviously, the broker needs to get their cut, but still, she's more than doubled her account, over 100% of her account in just 2 months. So you see here a $4,200 account balance as of right now. Now, here's the great thing about Benjamin. You can control your risk settings, and you can change and augment, and every single person has the ability to change their software depending on how much risk they're willing to take. All right, Abby is obviously a risk taker. She realizes bigger risk, bigger reward. So she was perfectly fine with turning up her software and really milking this thing for all that it will give her. And that's what I love so much about this software, because you have so much latitude. You have so much control over your settings and what you really want to do with this thing. So let me go ahead and pull up another customer account here. Let's go ahead as this thing is loading. So let's go ahead and pull up another customer account, show you another Benjamin software. All right, and how Benjamin works. Generally, it's designed for our more conservative people. Okay, Benjamin is going to, on average, people are seeing about 8 to 10% returns. But again, because of the risk settings, you can change it and get more or less, if you want to be super, super conservative. All right, but on average, on the conservative settings, Benjamin is making you about 8 to 10%. So here we got another customer, Andreas. He put in $100 in the beginning of November, and then on the 14th, he put in $1,000, and on the 23rd, he put in $2,000. So let's see how his $3,100 have been doing in these last couple months. So again, same time frame, he made about $2,100. Again, changed his settings, right? He was a little bit more conservative, but his $3,100 investment in 2 months has turned into $1,554. So he's made over 50% of his account size in just these few months, which is still incredible. I mean, way over the 8 to 10% average. So again, 10% is not the ceiling. You can get way more out of the software. It all depends on you and your risk settings and how comfortable you are. So you have a lot of control with Benjamin. All right, Benjamin is for the bigger account sizes, okay, for those people that are trying to put in $3,100, right? $4,000, $5,000. We even got guys with $20,000 plus in this software. But what about the little guy? 10% of a $500 account is not all that exciting, right? 10% doesn't get people fired up, right? $50 on a $500 investment, it's great. I mean, it's better returns than you're going to get elsewhere, but it's not as exciting, right? So what we have here, we created a second software, Hamilton, and how Hamilton works is it will generate you on average about $250 to about $700 every single month, regardless of your account size. So Hamilton is absolutely incredible. It will get you in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trades. Okay, it has the same hedging capabilities, so it's still looking to break even on those losses. But as you see here, and this is my personal account, by the way, guys. Okay, so I started a Hamilton account. Hamilton's actually pretty new. I started this account on the 31st of December. First trade was on the on the 7th of January. See, I have a 52-cent win, a 50-cent, a 51, and that's how Hamilton works. It will get you hundreds and hundreds of trades every single day. 50-cent wins, $1, 52, 30, all these wins add up. Okay, so let's see how we've been doing over these past 2 weeks on my Hamilton account. In just 2 weeks, and you see all those trades, right? Just 2 weeks, I've made over $257, so over 50% of my investment in these last 2 weeks. Actually, this is the 3rd week. And you see my total account size is $400 here, and that's only because I made a $400 withdrawal. So I actually just took some money out of my account today. All right, this money is not like, hey, you give us your money and it's here for 6 months to a year. You can't touch it or else you get penalized. All right, this is 100% your money, guys. You have complete access to it. You can withdraw and put more money in. You can do whatever you want. You have complete control here. So like I said, I made a withdrawal, but of my investment, in just 2 short weeks, I made almost $300 here, right? $257. And that's just my personal account. So let's pull up another Hamilton account and then we can kind of move on here. Who else is using Hamilton? There we go. Here's another Hamilton account. So this is another customer. He started, again, with about $500, right? You see this account started in January as well. January 7th was the first trade. Again, 50-cent wins and all these little wins added up. You see hundreds and hundreds of trades here. So let's get to the good stuff at the bottom. All right, so from his $500 account, in just 2 weeks, he's made over $234. So, and this is just from his $500 investment. In 2 weeks, he's made $234. And again, one thing I got to give you guys is a little disclaimer, right? Past profits don't guarantee future results. You never really know what's going to happen in the market. But what I'm doing to show you, the reason I'm showing you guys this is because the product is working. It's absolutely incredible. And I can only show you guys, I can only speak on our results and what's happened so far. So let me go ahead and get out of here. And we can get back into it, guys, so you can get the rest of this incredible, incredible information. All right. Oops, sorry, brought me back to the beginning. All right. So for those of you that saw that, saw these softwares and said, wow, this is absolutely incredible. The software sounds amazing. But you know what? I want to learn more about this Forex thing. I want to know how this software works. I want to know how, how this trading thing, what it's really all about. What we have for you guys, we've created in our I.M.P.A.C.T Forex team, we actually created an entire academy to teach you guys from the basic trading strategies to the most advanced techniques. We teach you everything about vocabulary. You'll learn about Fibonacci's and, harmonics and, the Ichimoku cloud and all types of stuff, all that crazy alien Forex language, if you so wish. Okay, we have hired 6- and 7-figure traders, and we have a bunch of different PDFs and a bunch of different resources for you guys to be able to pick up and learn this strategy of Forex so you can be able to take your money into the markets yourself. The reason that we did this, guys, is because we realized the saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. As incredible as this software is, teaching you guys how to fish is really where the power is at. So we wanted to provide you guys, for those that want to learn, we wanted to provide you with absolutely no obligation. We wanted to provide you the resources to be able to learn. So we offer you this service 100% for free. You get complete access to our entire trading academy and our live sessions where we break down charts with 6- and 7-figure traders. You get all that for free just by being a part of our I.M.P.A.C.T Forex team. So I guess the next question is, how do I get my hands on this software, right? What does this thing cost? I mean, I've seen education platforms alone, just people, 6- and 7-figure traders being able to show you what happens in the market and how to trade. I've seen courses for over $5,000. Okay, you pay $5,000 just for a training course. And this is not even including any type of software or anything like that, all right? And then again, for softwares, I mean, I've seen some of these different bots and other things out there. I mean, I've seen anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000 being paid for softwares, and they charge a monthly fee of like $350 to like $500. I mean, it is outrageous. I mean, with the education and the software combined, right? That's like a $10,000 value of what I've seen in the marketplace here today. but we're not offering you our services for $10,000. I mean, I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. And like I said in the beginning, Mr. Quicksilver really wanted to be able to help people change lives and make this readily available to the average individual. But even if we did charge $10,000, I mean, how much would you pay to be able to make the type of profits that you just saw on those live accounts in your sleep? All right, I remember when I was working at the factory, I would work, an entire week slaving, 15 hours a day in that factory for those type of profits. So to be able to do that in my sleep while I'm at the grocery store watching TV, doing absolutely nothing is just completely mind blowing. So you know what? Is that worth $10,000? I probably would have found a way and had to do what I had to do, right? Now, but what we're offering you is just $199 down for these services, for this software, for 100% access to our completely free education. Just $199 covers your first month of service, and your software will be active and trading for you. And then $145 a month. All right, that is all it takes. And then you get complete access to everything that we've shown you here today. And we even went one step further, right? I know nobody likes to add another bill to their life, right? I didn't. I was not excited about paying this $145, but one thing I realized is got to do what you got to do, right? But like I said, we even went one step further. The company realized, like so many other companies out here today, that word of mouth advertising is the most effective form of advertisement out there. I mean, you look at companies like Amazon, Airbnb, Lyft, Uber, all right, all these companies are utilizing word of mouth. All right, have you ever seen when you sign up for Lyft? I used to drive Lyft back in the day. They gave me a code and said, hey, you share this with your friends. Any of your friends that become drivers will give you $100, and then you get a percentage of their first 100 rides. All right, companies are offering these bonuses and incentives for people to be able to push out their products. Why? Because I don't care about TV commercials. All right, that's what DVR was created for, right? We're going to fast forward through every single one of those, and then I'm going to go ahead and buy Netflix so I don't have to watch the commercials. And I mean, I've even noticed it on Facebook, right? I'm on Facebook, I'm just zoned in, right? I'm reading through people's stories. I don't even notice the advertisements on the right side of the screen. I completely block those out. But if a friend of mine says, hey, I just saw this incredible movie, or hey, I went and ate at this restaurant, you gotta go, you gotta try it. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go eat in that restaurant. I'm gonna go see that movie. So word of mouth advertising is extremely effective, and that is what our company is utilizing. By sharing this incredible software with 3 people, you now have the ability to be able to earn their software 100% for free. There is no monthly fee, and all you got to do is share it with 3 people. And for those of you on the call who are motivated entrepreneurs like me and Brooklyn, all right, I saw that and I said, wow, that is incredible. I'm definitely dumping some money into this software, and 3 people sounds great. I can do that pretty easily, but I know 300 people who need this in their lives. So what happens when I go out and share this with 300 people instead of 3 people? Like, how does the company, what do I get for doing that? And I'm glad you asked. That is where you want to become an apprentice, okay? A Silver Star Live apprentice. You are now upgrading for just a $15 a month fee extra. You are now becoming an independent business owner, which gives you all different types of tax deductions, okay? And now you're kind of taking advantage of the business side and the investor side of that cash flow quadrant. But you are basically creating your own business, and the company gives you a bunch of different payouts and ranks and incentives for going out and sharing this incredible product with all types of people. So I just want to go over very quickly just a little bit about our payout system. So for every single person, once you've upgraded to that business owner, for every single person that you share the software with and they buy through you directly, you get a one-time $40 commission. Okay, just one time you get $40 for every single sale of the software that you have, every single person that you've introduced to the software. Then we have our weekly and monthly residual payouts, okay, down here. Okay, so once you introduce your first 3 people, you're an icon 150 in the company. So the company's paying you $37.50 every single week, no matter what. As long as these customers continue to use the services, you're making that $37.50. Okay, here's where you're breaking even, because that's basically paying for your services and you're getting free software, right? You move down here. Once your team grows to 12 people, and this is not 12 people that you've personally introduced, right? Say you got 3 people and those 3 people all want to get free software. So your 3 get 3. Now you got a team of 12. You're an icon 600. You're making $150 every single week, $600 a month minimum. Okay, because that's not including all the other bonuses and payouts and not including what you're going to be making from the software. So you're making at least $600 a month minimum. $150 every single week. And then we move down here again. Once your team grows to 35 customers, and this is where I'm at, Icon 1500, you're making at least $1,500 every single month minimum. Okay, $375 added to your life. How much would you guys have to do? What would you guys have to do at your job to get a raise where you get an extra $375 every single week, right? Probably get a second job, right? So just realize how life-changing and how incredible that actually is. And then we got the final payout here. This is our 3x7 matrix, our 3x9 matrix. Basically what this does, our company has allowed you to be able to get paid $3 for every single person in your network, right? So say I got 50 people in my network and I've got enough personals to be on the right level of the matrix here. So 3 times 50 is 150. So I get a one-time payout every single month from the matrix of $150 on top of whatever rank I am down here, on top of however many customer sales I have for the week. So I get my $40 there, on top of whatever my software, whatever profits I'm making from my software. And then on top of that, I get 100% free education, and I'm learning how to be able to trade in the markets myself and earn myself money and earn myself profits in Forex. So there are a lot of ways to make money in this company, and I highly, highly recommend that you guys take full advantage. So what I want you guys to do here today is get back with the person who invited you on this call here today, and just get the software, get access, figure out how to get access to this software, get their link. All right, join our team, and I'm super excited to be able to help and serve each and every one of you. And the one thing I want to leave you guys with here today before we hop off the call, before I let you guys go, because one thing that went through my mind, which would have went through my mind a couple years ago if I had heard something like this, is that it sounds too good to be true. All right. One thing my parents had always taught me, they drilled this into me. They said, if something sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. And that is a saying that I led my life by for a very, very long time. But once I got into the world of entrepreneurship, I had a very, very wealthy mentor. And when he had heard that saying, he said, Paul, get that out of your mind right now. He said, Paul, if every opportunity is too good to be true, then how are you ever going to find a true opportunity? Wow. I mean, that was just, my mind was completely blown. And then I realized that what sets apart the top 1%, what sets apart the wealthy from the unwealthy is not opportunity. It's not, I mean, it is knowledge, but at the end of the day, I mean, we are in the most technologically connected and advanced generation in history. I mean, all information that you could ever want about anything can be found on the internet. All right. You just got to look around, do a little bit of research, but it's out there. So we can always figure stuff out. Okay. So it's not information that sets apart the wealthy from the unwealthy. You can find out stuff. What sets apart the wealthy from the unwealthy is mindset. Okay, a wealthy person will see opportunity. They'll say, okay, does it make sense? Right? Because if it makes sense, it can make dollars. And so if it makes sense, it makes dollars. So that's the first check mark. Does it make sense? Do I see opportunity here? Is it something that is going to benefit me? Yeah, probably. Okay, cool. So it makes sense. It can benefit me. What else do I need to know? How do I get started? Wealthy people will see opportunity. They'll say, as long as it makes sense and I see myself, you know, I'll benefit from it, then that's all I need to know. I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to take a shot. An unwealthy person will have that mindset that I used to have a couple years ago. It's too good to be true. And they'll say, it makes sense. I can see, but you know, the price is, and all types of excuses. Guys, don't be that person. Don't be that guy. Don't worry about finding that 199. All right, if I'm telling you, hey, here is gold, all right, all you got to do is dig right here in this spot. Don't worry about the price of the shovel. All right, you grab that shovel and you start digging. All right, no questions asked. And again, that's what sets apart the wealthy from the unwealthy. Once they have the vehicle, once they have the knowledge, then they're immediately implementing it, no questions asked. And that venture, yeah, sometimes it doesn't always work out, right? Sometimes they take those losses, but you know what? After 3 ventures that take losses, then they have that 4th venture and it hits big and they make multiple millions. and the unwealthy person will pass up on all 4 opportunities, and they'll continue to pass up on opportunity. So guys, I highly recommend that you don't be that guy. You get back with the person who invited you on this call here today, because they love, trust, respect you enough to be able to share this information with you. And once again, guys, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys sticking with me and really spending your time with us on the call here today. And with that being said, I hope you all have a very blessed night.